Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel Pharm Easy by Swati. Today we will start the fourth unit of pharm first sem, that is peripheral nervous system and about special senses. It will be a one-shot video lecture of complete fourth unit. And the lecture will include introduction to nervous system, classification of nervous system, structure and functions of sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, origin and functions of spinal and cranial nerves. And the second part of the lecture will be special senses that will include the structure and functions of eye, ear, nose and tongue along with their disorders. So, let's start the lecture. Nervous system. It controls the various vital body functions and maintains the homeostasis. Also, it detects and responds to changes inside and outside the body. Nervous system provides an immediate response or response to any external stimuli. It comprises of brain, spinal cord, and peripheral nerves. Neuron is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. As the figure of neuron represents dendrites, cytoplasm, nucleus, axon, nerve terminal, and synapses. Neurons are interconnected with each other and helps in the transmission of signal to the target cell. This is a classification of nervous system. Nervous system is divided into two categories, that are central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system includes brain and spinal cord. And brain is further divided into three parts, that is forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Now, this is the classification of peripheral nervous system or PNS. It is divided into two categories, that is autonomic nervous system and somatic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system is further divided as sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system activates in the condition of fear, fight, and flight. And parasympathetic nervous system controls or normalize the action of sympathetic nervous system. Somatic nervous system is further divided into two categories, that are cranial nerves and spinal nerves. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves which are originated from the spinal cord. And 31 pairs of spinal nerves originated from sacral and cranial regions. So, our next topic will be autonomic nervous system. This figure is important as learning point of view. It's a difference between parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system. Remember that this is normal condition and this is a condition of fear, fight, and flight. So, your pupil of eye will constrict, and in this pupil will be dilated. It stimulates the saliva secretion, and it will inhibit the secretion of saliva. Constriction of bronchi, but here relaxation of bronchi as the breathing rate increases. In this, heart rate will be slow or normal. In this, heart rate will be increased. It stimulates the production of bile, and in this digestion or metabolism slows down. It stimulates digestion of food in stomach as well as in small intestine, and it stimulates glucose release and adrenaline production is increased. It causes erection of sex organs and it reduces the blood flow. Now, this is a similar difference, but I have tried to make it easier and simpler. As you know that sympathetic nervous system activates in the condition of fear, fight, and flight. So, your heart rate, blood pressure, and breathing rate will be increased. And in parasympathetic nervous system, heart rate, blood pressure, and breathing rate will be decreased or normal. Intestinal juice and bile juice secretion is reduced. And in this, intestinal juice and bile juice secretion is increased. It inhibits the secretion of saliva, pancreatic juice, and gastric juice. And it stimulates the secretion of saliva, pancreatic juice, and gastric juice. In this, pupil dilated and urinary bladder relaxes. Here, pupil constricts and urinary bladder contracts. Constriction of arteries results in the increase of blood pressure. Arteries remains dilated or normal. In this, air passage or bronchi widens, but here it narrows or in normal condition. It stimulates perspiration or sweating rate. And it inhibits perspiration. Erection of hair can be seen. In this, slanting of hairs. Peristaltic movement or muscular movement in the oesophagus slows down. And it accelerates the peristalsis. Release of glucose increases. And in this, release of glucose is reduced. Now, our next topic is spinal nerves. These are mixed nerves, which carries motor, sensory, and autonomic signals between the spinal cord and the body. There is total 31 pairs of spinal nerves, one on each side of the vertebral column. So, there will be 8 pairs of cervical nerves, 12 pairs of thoracic nerves, 5 pairs of lumbar nerves and sacral nerves, and 1 pair of coccygeal nerves. Next topic is functions of spinal nerves. Spinal nerves send electrical signals between brain, spinal cord, and rest of the body. These are the nerves along with their functions. Cervical nerve. C1 nerve controls the head and neck movements including forward and backward movements. C2 nerve stimulates sensation at the back of head. C3 nerve stimulates sensation at scalp area and the sides of the face. C4 nerve controls and provides sensory relay for the shoulders and upper part of the upper arm and biceps. C5 nerve controls the deltoid muscles of our shoulder and biceps. And deltoid means movement the arm at shoulder away from midline. C6 nerve controls wrist extension movements. C7 nerve controls the triceps and wrist extensor muscles. C8 nerve control hands and gripping of fingers. T1 and T2 nerves supply nerve function to the top part of chest. T3, T4 and T5 nerves supply nerve function to chest and upper organs of thoracic cavity. T6, T7 and T8 nerves supply nerve functions to chest and abdomen part. T9, T10, T11, T12 supply nerve function to lower abdomen and their dermatomes covers the mid-back and lower abdomen. L1 or lumbar 1 nerve stimulates sensation around groin and genitals and has a motor control of hips. L2, L3, L4 nerve stimulates sensation for front and inside of the thighs. L5 supply nerve function to outside of thighs and extend into the outer aspects of the top of lower legs. And Sacral 1 to sacral 5 nerves provide nerve functions to genitals, anus, sacrum, buttocks, back of thighs. Coccygeal nerve provides nerve functions to pelvic organs. Next topic is cranial nerves. These are the nerves which originates from the brain. The cranial nerves are a set of 12 paired nerves in the back of brain. These nerves send electrical signals between brain, face, neck, and torso. Cranial nerves helps us to taste, smell, hear, and feel sensations. Also helps in making facial expressions, blinking of eyes, and moving of tongue. This chart shows the different cranial nerves and their functions. Olfactory nerve provides or stimulates sense of smell. Optic nerve has an ability to see the world. Oculomotor nerve helps in the movement of eyeball and blinking of eyes. Trochlear nerve helps in the movement of eyes up and down or back and forth. Trigeminal nerve stimulates sensations in our face, cheeks, taste, and jaw movement. Abducens nerve have an ability to move our eyes. Facial nerve provides nerve function in the facial expressions and sense of taste. Auditory or vestibular nerve stimulates sense of hearing and body balance. Glossopharyngeal nerve have an ability to taste and swallow. Vagus nerve controls digestion and heart rate. Accessory or spinal accessory nerve helps in the shoulder and neck muscle movement. Hypoglossal nerve has an ability to move our tongue. As this figure shows the location of cranial nerves. So here is olfactory nerve or first nerve. Optic nerve for vision or second nerve. Oculomotor nerve for eyeball movement and blinking of eyes or third nerve. Trochlear nerve or fourth nerve. Trigeminal nerve for face sensations and jaw movement or fifth nerve. Facial nerve or seventh nerve. Vagus nerve for controlling digestion and heart rate or 10th nerve. Hypoglossal nerve for tongue movement or 12th nerve. Abducens nerve for movement of eyes or 6th nerve. Vestibulocochlear nerve for balance and hearing or 7th nerve. Glossopharyngeal nerve for taste and swallow or 8th nerve. Spinal accessory nerve for shoulder and neck muscle movement or 9th nerve. Now, our next and important topic is special senses. There are many special senses in our body such as eye, ear, tongue, nose, and many more. So, we will study these special senses one by one. And first one is eye. This is a structure of eye. It represents whitish layer, sclera. Outer transparent layer, cornea. Its visible colored ring, iris. Middle part, pupil. Its convex lens. Ciliary body, and outer layer conjunctiva. This is the innermost layer of eye, retina where image are formed. Its optic nerve for transmitting the signals to brain. Its macular region. These are the retinal blood vessels. There are two types of fluid in the eye, aqueous humor and vitreous humor. This slide shows the structure of eye. Human eye is divided into two different chambers, that is anterior chamber and posterior chamber. These chambers are separated by lens ciliary body, and suspensory ligaments. Anterior chamber contains a fluid collar aqueous humor, and posterior chamber contains vitreous humor. There are two types of cells in human eye, that is rods and cones. Rods contains a pigment known as rhodopsin. Rods are broken down when they absorb light hitting cell. And cones contains photopsin pigment. These are the basis of color vision. There are different layers of eye. First one is sclera and cornea. These are the outer fibrous layer. Sclera is the white portion of eye. It also maintains the shape of eye, and it gives attachment to extrinsic muscles. Cornea is the clear transparent epithelial membrane and light passes through it. As the diagram shows that it's sclera and it's cornea. Next layers are choroid, ciliary body, and iris. These are the middle vascular layers. Choroid layer is rich in blood vessels, and it play a vital role in absorption of light, and this layer is deep chocolate brown in color. Ciliary body. It consists of ciliary muscle, and lens is attached with the help of ciliary body. It helps in the contraction and relaxation of ciliary muscle fiber, resulting in the change of lens shape. Iris. It divides eye into anterior and posterior chamber. It is the visible colored ring and present behind the cornea and in front of lens. Iris has two types of layers, that is circular and radiating layer. As this figure shows the choroid, ciliary body, and iris. Last layer is retina. It is the innermost and light-sensitive layer where rods and cones are present. Macula lutea or yellow spot is present near the center of posterior part, and in the center blind spot is present. Blind spot has no light-sensitive cells. There are approximately 120 million of rod cells and 6 million of cone cells in human eye. This figure clearly shows the retina. Now, next topic is disorders of eye. Glaucoma. It is a disorder of eye in which pressure inside eyes increases and eyes can be damaged. Astigmatism. In this, eyes are not completely round and results into a blurry vision. Cataract is characterized by cloudy vision and double vision. In corneal abrasion, dirt or sand trapped in the eyes, and it is sensitive to light, causes redness of eyes. Dry eyes. In this, tears cannot lubricate the eyes properly and causes blurred vision. Retinal detachment. In this, retina damages and causes permanent vision loss. Hyphema. Blood gets accumulated in the front part of eye and causes bleeding and blurry vision. Sclerites. Inflammation in sclera and causes partial or complete loss of vision. Next topic is ear. The main functions of ear are balance and hearing. This figure shows the auricle or pinna, external auditory canal, tympanic membrane, tympanic cavity, ear bones that are malleus, incus, stapes. Its round window, these are semicircular canals, its vestibular nerve, cochlear, and eustachian tube. Basically, ear is divided into three parts, that is external ear, middle ear, and inner ear. Outer ear includes auricle or pinna made up of cartilage and S-shaped external acoustic meatus or auditory canal. Outer ear starts from auricle and ends to eardrum. In the outer ear, ceruminous gland is present where cerumen is secreted. Cerumen is also known as earwax. Hair follicles and sebaceous glands are also present. Middle ear is also known as tympanic cavity. It includes eustachian tube that maintains the atmospheric pressure and auditory ossicles, namely hammer-shaped malleus, incus, and stapes. Stapes is the smallest bone of the body. Inner ear. It is also known as labyrinth. It includes vestibule. Vestibule includes utricle and saccule, and 3 semicircular canals for balancing, and cochlea. Cochlea has 3 structures as scala vestibuli, scala media, and scala tympani. Next topic is functions of ear. The main functions of ear are hearing and balance. In the mechanism of hearing, the sound waves pass through auditory canal and reach the eardrum. The vibrations are passed to the ear ossicles in tympanic cavity, and stapes pushes the oval window in and out. This action is passed on the organ of Corti, and it is the receptor of hearing that contains tiny hairs that translate the vibrations into electrical impulses that are transmitted to brain by sensory nerves. And its next function is balancing. So, eustachian tube equalizes the air pressure in the middle ear and maintains the balance. And vestibular complex contains receptors that maintain body balance. Now, our next topic is disorders of ear. Tinnitus. A roaring in ears, and it may be due to loud noises or by any other medicines. Meniere's disease. It is a fluid-related problems in the inner ear. Barotrauma. It is an injury to ear because of changes in air pressure or water pressure. Otosclerosis. It is an abnormal growth of small bones of ear. Otitis media. It is an inflammation of the inner ear, generally caused by any bacteria or virus that causes fluid to accumulate. Presbycusis. It is an age-related hearing loss and occurs simultaneously in both ears. Anacusis, also known as deafness. It is caused due to illness, traumatism, long-term exposure to noise. Next topic is nose. It is the primary organ of smell. The inhaled air is warmed and humidified before it enters the lungs. Structure of nose. Nose includes bone, cartilage, nasal cavity, mucous membrane, septum, turbinates, and sinuses. Bone supports bridge of nose. Cartilage supports to the sides of nose. Nasal cavity is a hollow space through which air flows. Mucous membrane is the thin wall that divides nose into 2 chambers. Septum moistens and warms the air, and it forms sticky mucus that prevents entry of dust or other small particles into the nose. Turbinate are the bony ridges lined with the mucous membrane. And sinuses are the bone around nose contains air-filled chambers and mucus flows into the nasal cavity from sinuses. Now, next slide is about functions of nose. Nose helps in the purification of inhaled air as the wall of nasal cavity are covered with tiny hairs that trap the dust and harmful particles. And temperature of inhaled air is also maintained by tiny hairs. Nose helps in inhalation. As the process of inhalation starts in the nose, air enters the oropharynx and finally reaches the lungs through larynx, trachea, and bronchi. Nose is the organ of smell. The inhaled air comes in contact with the olfactory epithelium and the nerve fibers extending from the olfactory receptors accumulate the molecules containing the odor to send the signals to the olfactory bulbs through the receptors. Then, signals are decoded and smell is identified. Nose acts as sense of taste as the olfactory receptors are present. Next topic is disorders of nose. Allergic rhinitis. This is an inflammation of the membranes lining the nose. Sinus infections, also known as sinusitis. Sinuses are the air-filled structures within the bones of the face and causes stuffy nose, and it may cause absence of smell or taste. Nasal polyps. In this, sinuses are generally blocked, and its symptoms resemble to sinusitis. Nasal trauma. It includes nasal bone fractures, nosebleed or epistaxis, nasal valve collapse, cuts, abrasions, and burns. Deviated septum. This is a septum that is crooked either from birth or after an injury. Swollen turbinates. It is due to respiratory infections, allergens, and airborne irritants like smoke. Next topic is tongue. As you know that it is a sensible and muscular organ in our mouth and it helps in chewing and speaking. It is a primary organ of taste. Upper surface of tongue is covered by taste buds. Mainly there are 4 types of taste buds as sweet, salty, sour, and bitter. Saliva is secreted from the salivary glands and is richly supplied with nerves and blood vessels. This figure clearly shows the different taste buds in the different region of tongue. This is the structure of tongue that shows different papillae and tonsils. There are various functions of tongue such as mastication means chewing process. Deglutition means swallowing of food. Tongue provides taste of food as it transmits the taste signals to the brain and helps in sensing taste. It helps in speech. Mucus and serous fluid is secreted out from tongue. And parotid, maxillary, and sublingual glands are salivary glands present in the tongue. These glands have different functions in breakdown of food. Now, our last topic is disorders of tongue. Black hairy tongue is a disease due to poor oral hygiene, and in this dead cells are deposited on the surface of tongue and create a dark, furry-like appearance. Glossitis is a condition that results in a swollen, inflamed, or discoloration of tongue. Oral thrush is also a disease characterized by small, white bumps and patches on the surface of tongue. It is a fungal infection caused by yeast. Burning mouth syndrome. It's a condition which leaves tongue with a burning sensation. Oral cancer. Symptoms like pain, difficulty in tongue movement, and abnormal spotting. That was all about peripheral nervous system and special senses. So, how was this video? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you. Keep watching and take care.